reading all his comments
What?
on Instagram. Not yet. I just need a little energy for this today. It's so good.
Tell the audience who you are.
I am 19 years old, newly 19 actually. I am a college student, a college athlete at Concordia University in Austin. And yeah, I currently live in Houston, Texas.
How many siblings do you have?
The right answer would be 2, but I have quite a few half-siblings on my biological father's side that I don't really talk to, but we are technically siblings.
How did we get here?
A few days before I turned 19, I was just doom scrolling on Instagram, as I do very often, and I came across one of my half-siblings' page, and I did a little bit of stalking, and I saw just how this specific sibling's life kind of has played out throughout the years, and it made me really just sit and wonder how my life would have been if I would have had my dad in my life. And seeing that, it kind of made me not really angry, but just super curious as to what my life could look like. And it honestly just made me a little sad seeing someone who had a hand in creating me have so much input in my sibling's life and not in mine. Your turn. Are you ready?
Girl.
Are you in the hot seat?
I'm in the hot seat. Thank you. I love you so much.
Your forehead's a little shiny now. First question.
Okay.
How did you meet my father?
I met your dad on the set of the Nelly and Kelly Dilemma video. He was talent, I was talent.
He was married, you weren't.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding.
After we wrapped, he tried to talk to me. And within that conversation, I believe I asked him, did he have somebody? And he told me that he did. He told me that he was married. So I declined.
So what happened after that?
This was around the time I had just moved to LA. I was doing my thing, right? I had just done state property. I want to say either it was XXL Magazine or King. I'm not really sure. But the interviewer, his name was Bonsu, and he asked me a question. He said, what's your type? And for some reason, this guy popped in my head, and I said his name and I described his physique. So this guy, his name, I don't even know if I could say his name, but I'm going to say his name. His name is Jackie Miles. And he worked as security for the Wizards, right? And so he was from Philly. He reached out to me and he said, this guy is interested in you. And I said, I had a conversation with him before and he told me that he was married. Is he still married? He told me that he was still married. We did this funky 2-step, I want to say 2 years. Maybe not quite 2 years, but almost 2 years. Jackie hit me up again and he said, this guy is getting a divorce. So I said, okay, so that changes things. Now we're talking. So Jackie ended up giving him my number. He called me, we talked, we hit it off. He invited me to Vegas. This was the first time that I really hung out with an NBA player in this setting. He had his baller friends around and it was just groupies. It was different. And I had already been in situations where I talked to other NBA players and rappers. So the lifestyle wasn't too foreign, but I just wasn't in a group setting. We went to dinner, we went to a club, we went to some magic show. He ended up going back to a room with some of his friends to get high. And I went back to the room just because I didn't smoke weed at the time.
At the time.
Is
that a story for another day?
No. I've never been a weed smoker. He came back in and it was pretty late. I was asleep. I ended up leaving first thing in the morning. I wrote him a note. Thank you for everything. I was gone before he even woke up. So as soon as I got home, he was ringing my phone. He wanted to know why I had left because I hadn't slept with him at this point. He wanted to see me again and the next trip was Miami. And Miami is when everything changed. At what age did you realize you didn't have your father in your life?
I think I realized pretty late, if I'm being honest. I wasn't that observant as a kid, but I would say around 8 or 9, I realized that I didn't have my dad in my life. Being a kid and growing up with such a great support system, with my mom and my grandma, they showed me a lot of love and they showed me what it was like to be loved. And I think growing up and kind of getting out of my little bubble with my family and seeing like traditional families and how that kind of was with a mom and a dad, it made me very curious. And I think that's when I realized that something was a little different with my family.
So once you realized that you didn't have the traditional family, what changed for you?
Um, I oh oh god. Okay.
Come here. You got it.
Oh,
Got it.
yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
You sure? You want to stop?
No, it's okay. I was such a happy kid, and then once I figured it out that my life was so different, I think that what changed for me was my mental health. And it's so scary because I feel like if I had had my dad in my life, I feel like I wouldn't have had such dark thoughts growing up. And as a kid, you never want to have those thoughts because you're just like, you're a kid and you want to be happy all the time. And I feel like that's when like my anxiety and my depression started. And I'm so sad that it happened so early. But honestly, it feels like that's what changed the most for me is who I was or who I was going to become. And I'm so happy that I am the person that I am today, but it's so sad that it's because of something so traumatic.
You said you had dark thoughts. Can you elaborate?
I think that as a kid, I had all these emotions and I didn't know how to process them. And then once I got a little bit older, I feel like I could recognize what this feeling was, and it was a feeling of not feeling worthy and like almost like I didn't want to be here anymore because I felt unworthy that my father didn't want to be around me or didn't want to have any kind of relationship with me. So the feelings that I had, which is really sad to say, like for a kid to say that they didn't want to be on earth anymore, is it's really upsetting and it's really hard to admit. I did not think that I deserved to be on this planet.
Okay, let's switch gears. That was heavy.
Mm.
I want to discuss accountability, right? And I want to talk about what part did I play in your trauma with the decisions that I made with your father.
Growing up, like, I'm not really worried about the big word of accountability. I feel like it's more so of why is my mom doing this? Why is she not doing that? I was never angry at my mom. At the same time, I think I was just angry at the situation as a whole. Like, my dad doesn't want to be in my life. Like, he doesn't call, he doesn't check on me or anything like that. And then my mom won't give me answers. She won't sit me down and tell me this is what's going on. This is the truth. It's sad, but it's the truth. For a long time, I was not mad at my mom, but like sad at her because I just wanted the truth. I just wanted that normalcy and I just wanted to be able to have an open conversation. And I feel like whatever she was going through, it blocked her from having that honest conversation with me and even being honest with herself.
What is your relationship now with me? Do you feel like I've taken accountability for not having those hard conversations with you?
For sure. I feel like now our relationship has grown so much with me getting older and me realizing a lot of things. Because as a kid, you're not really worried about like the conversations that happen in those rooms with the adults. You're just like, why are they talking so quiet? Like, why are they just whispering to each other? And then you get older and you realize all the things that happened at every traumatic piece, every happy thing, every hardship that your parent has gone through. And you just have like that newfound respect for them. And I also feel like moms have it so hard because people think they're supposed to get it right the first time, but you have to realize it's their first time living too. Yes, they've lived longer than you, but it's their first time living and it's also their first time having a kid. So it's like, I feel like moms need so much more grace than what people give them.
Did you ever blame me?
Yes. Yes, I did. I think also with my mom's absence growing up, I feel like I blamed her for not being around, as well as I blamed her for choosing the wrong person to be my dad. Especially when I grew up, I realized like you have a choice in who you want to be with, who you want to love, who you want to create a family with. And I felt like she made the wrong choice. And I didn't necessarily express those feelings of blame towards her, but I internalized them a lot. And I think that's what also kind of created that rift between me and my mom when I was growing up. She had a lot of love to offer to me, but I didn't want to accept it because I did blame her.
You said that I was absent. Why was I absent?
I think you were going through a lot. You had a lot of pain. That's the understanding that I have now. But before, my understanding is that you were reckless and you just didn't have the courage, I guess, to stay around or to be in one place for too long, because I feel like if you were in one place too long, you thought for too long, and whatever it is that you were thinking was so painful that I feel like if you kept moving, you wouldn't think about everything that you were going through as much. But I was angry that you weren't around. I was hurt that you would go to these places and you wouldn't come back. I was angry that you would drink all the time. I was angry that I didn't know about the drugs at the time. I only had recently found that out once we moved here. But I knew about the drinking since I was little. I was around it a lot. Seeing my mom like that, it made me like have this like weird feeling towards her, because whenever she would drink or whenever she would get drunk, I would just like kind of disassociate.
Have you ever reached out to your dad?
Yes.
No way.
Yes. I have. I reached out maybe a couple months ago, actually. I think it was a couple months ago. And I reached out and I sent him my commitment photo of me committing to go to Concordia University. And I just sent him a list of like everything that I've accomplished. And I said, basically, why didn't you want to be in my life? Why do you feel the need to stay so far away? And why, just why, for a lot of things. And I sent the message, I sent it, and I waited, and no response. Um, and when I didn't get a response, I was kind of like, wow, this person hates me. So I'm a teenager, so I go on Instagram a lot and I talk to my friends through DM. And every time I would see that message that I sent, I would click on it, I'd read it, and I'd cry. So I had to delete it from like my from seeing it. But I never deleted the message, so it's still on his phone. and no response still.